Hey guys, Monkey here, and I'm here today to review Transformers Legacy Evolution Slag. Slag here is from the core class scale of Transformers, meaning that he is much smaller. Oh, goodness. Meaning that he is much smaller than his leader counterpart, as you can see. So yeah, Slag is a Triceratops. Very skinny, considering like this entire little section here. Very skinny Triceratops, but still a Triceratops. And yeah, I don't have too much to say about his alt mode. I won't lie. You know, it's Slag. I guess you can wiggle the head a bit. The legs go forward and back because they're the arms. Then these legs go full 360, as you can see. And yeah, the underside's not that bad. Definitely seen better, but it's not that bad. So yeah. Size comparison time. So we got his wave mate, Sludge, as you can see. Scales pretty well. Then we get Snarl, who also scales pretty well. Then we get Scar, who's probably the most bulky out of all these guys, as you can see. We get Grimlock, who's probably he's definitely one of the more skinny Transformers. And finally, we get Swoop, which looks like that. And you know what? Screw it. Excuse me. I'll just do a review on oh shit, there goes Grimlock. Okay, bye. I'm gonna do all their I'll do everyone's review. I'll go over Grimlock's Scar and Swoop briefly. So yeah. I don't have much to say about their alt modes, that's why. Like Slag is Slag. Sludges. Well, actually, I do have a bit more to say about him. The legs are absolutely massive on this guy. Then the tail's really small. I get it's a core class figure, but that doesn't mean it's free of criticism when we have core class figures like Snarl here and Swoop. Swoop and Snarl are probably the best out of these guys because not only do they have proper elbows and leg joints, or knees, my bad, but they also look good in their alt modes. For example, the worst two would probably be these two here, just for how they look in their alt mode. Slug would be the third worst with how skinny he is, and Scar, we never really got to see Scar's alt mode in the comics, so I don't really mind him that much. He's probably... So, this is how I have it ordered. Sludge, Grimlock, Slag, Scar. Not because he's a bad figure, it just I don't know too much about him. We don't know enough about Scar. And then we have Swoop, and then our best would be Snarl, which is also, coincidentally enough, our very last core class figure that we got out of this line. So, I mean, it makes sense. It did start off with these two, then these, or then then these two, and then it ended off with probably the best. Being the best articulated, probably the best in alt mode. Obviously we have bits of the robot mode here and there, but he still looks great. I won't lie. Like this guy looks good. The others look good, except for these two. These two here I don't like that much. And my opinion on Grimlock changes in robot mode. He is Definitely meant for combined mode and robot mode more than he is, dino mode. I'll get more into that later with this guy, since the review I had for him got itself deleted. Then the short I did on him wasn't that fair. I'll go over this guy in more detail, actually. These two, good figures. I will not lie to you, they are really, really good. And for the sake of size comparison, I'll get the other Dinobots in here. First with Goldbug, though. Compared to Grimlock, Slag, Sludge, Sludge, Slag, Grimlock, Snarl, Scar, finally Swoop. Swoop's wingspan is much bigger, but that's, because it's from point A to point B over here. Of course it's going to be a bit bigger. Alrighty. So, we got the little Sludge compared to the big Sludge. I would love to see a retool out of this Sludge as a Paddles. That would be cool. I know there's some people that are asking for that too. I would love to see a Paddles retool out of this guy. We got Slag, compared to all of our Dinobots here. And finally, the king himself, me, Grimlock. The usual. I love how his face looks. So he's probably one of my more favorite Transformers in my collection. For how simple he is, but for how well done. The Dinobots have the most simple transformations out of the 86 figures. And they look the best while doing it. So yeah. With that said, we already talked about Sludge and his ridiculous proportions of the legs. Scar looks good. Love the head, love the spines. I guess the tail bothers me, obviously being a fist. I'll get into his problems more in combined mode, so yeah. Swoop looks mostly good, obviously the arms, but there's only so much you can do with a core class. Snarl probably is the best. We got the good Autobot logo that even the 86 figure couldn't get right. Because on Snarl here, it is almost perfectly aligned. Then we got Slag here. Looking really nice. Besides being starved. Then probably one of the worst, Grimlock. With these massive, just this massive tail. Like, if we were to kind of, cover this up, it looks good like that, But then you reveal this entire brick on his ass, and bam. Looks a bit ugly. So, yeah. Let's get into transformation. So, first guy, Sludge. You push the legs down and rotate it, like so. Then untab them into an A stance. Then you untab the arms and bring them out. Rotate the waist and then push the Brontosaurus head around and down. And that's Sludge. He's still the worst out of all the Dinobots, just for how the robot mode looks. The head is probably the best part about this guy. Well, that and his combined mode, but we'll get into that later. Everything else does not look good. I will not lie to you. It does not look good at all. I get I get they have a certain budget with it being a combiner as a core class. But it still sucks. It's gonna suck. And I think that's what bothers me the most. Oh! No! I got it. Oh, I'm gonna fall off. Alright. 1 second. I gotta grab the guy now. Come on. Alright. Got him. But yeah. He's gonna stay here because he's the worst. Alright. Now we go into slag. We pull off the tail, which is both the combiner head, which is beautiful, might I add. This is a beautiful head mode. Hollow in the back, but I don't mind hollowness in the heads as much as others do. It's if it affects the whole figure that's when I mind, but I usually don't mind hollowness. We push up the legs and rotate them around, like so. And bam, we kind of just put the legs either there, where he'll get more support when standing, like that, or we put him up like this. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to display the legs, but that's how you do it. You untab the backpack, rotate the arms around, like so, and then pull down the faceplate, or the Dino mode's lower jaw. And then that gives us this lovely figure. Besides the arms being too short, I do like the figure a lot, actually. It's probably one of the better robot modes. Is it perfect? No, but it's still really good. So yeah. You have Slag's beautifully painted head and sculpted. Wait 1 second. I'm going to transform the 86 one, then I'll do a comparison between the two. Alrighty. Got all the Dinobots transformed. Oh. Fucking hell. That's my other problem with this guy. This not, like, barely has any heels. With the head being the head. Oh, no. Okay, now he's standing. Actually, I do want to talk. Speaking of heads, we have the 86 figures. Massive ass dome, and the core class, and it's almost 1-for-1. Let's say, like, it does really look good. Man, you can barely see the blue. All right, so can we pick up the blue in those eyes? Okay, yeah, it's all about angles, and I cannot get the angle right now. Does this guy even have his eyes? Yeah. This guy's eyes are painted, but you can barely even tell, dude. Yeah, see, like, you guys can barely see it, but they're painted. That's actually a surprise to me. Yeah. We got Slag's head for the core class. And then we got the 86 figure's head. And it's really accurate, actually. I do really like how it looks. I say it is almost 1-to-1 in detail. And I love that. I haven't got the other guys transformed yet, so... Well, actually, I do prefer Grimlock's robot mode a bit more over Slag's. So I guess... will be ordered like that. So now, to transform Grimlock, you gotta pull the broken blaster off his ass, untab his legs, and pull him down. Split the legs apart into their A stance. Rotate the fist this way. Rotate the other fist that way. Oh, what's that? That's his gun port. Oh ho ho ho! That's what happened. Split his body, or the neck section of the Dino mode, like so, and push it down. I want an upgrade kit for just these guys individually, not the combined mode, but just for these guys to improve them. I can care less about the combined mode. I got these guys for the combined mode, but I find that I enjoy the guys separately more than I would them as a combined team. So yeah. The head sculpt on this guy is really good, actually. I really do enjoy the head sculpt. And compared to the 86 figure, is also very accurate. Both are very menacing. God, this guy was a bitch to get, this guy. I really hope that package refresh is true, because I want more people to enjoy that Grimlock. It is a wonderful figure. Yeah, I guess I'll plug that onto his kneecap for now, since the handle broke. Oh, wait, I didn't even really go over the robot mode. I just went over his head. The robot mode is, like I said, the better part of the figure by itself. Obviously, the combined mode is the best part, but the figure, as well, a standalone figure, if you don't want to complete Volcanicus, is really good. I'll say the legs actually are really nice. Let's say they're well articulated. You have a whole waist swivel. The knees, the thighs are a bit short and the legs are overly long. No ankle pivot. I don't mind. I don't expect, movement in the feet for a figure. Obviously, I expect a knee bend and stuff, but I really don't mind. It's nice. But yeah, the backpack's not the worst. It would have been more accurate if it was set up something like this, where the dino arms would be out that way. Kind of like that. But then if we do it like that, then it looks like this, which is really ugly. So, obviously it had to be designed like that. Stay down. But yeah. I'll talk more about him in just a moment. But yeah. Now that I have more time to myself, Grimlock is lovely, to say the least, as his own figure. I just kind of wish they didn't do the Volcanicus thing. The concept is wonderful, and the upcoming Dino King is beautiful looking. But it only looks like that because of the attachments. The feet, the hands. It's only good looking because it has all that. And these guys don't have that. Obviously, if they did, the set would be much better and much more highly acclaimed. But it's not because of that. It's not treated highly because without those parts, the team in their combined mode sucks. It's not the greatest, I won't lie. And as a combiner, it's not the greatest. The hand on this guy does not want to stay on. Swoop just kind of sucks as a limb. The figure, all I'm going to say is the figures by themselves are really good. Except for Sludge. Sludge sucks. But besides that, if you're going to get the set just for the figures, you get everyone but Sludge. If you're a completionist, get Sludge. But if you have an option to get any of these guys, get them. But more for the enjoyment and not accuracies. I won't lie. Because these guys are not the greatest articulation-wise. Let's say if you just want a little thing to mess around with, then these guys are perfect. Perfect for that. But yeah. Now we go into Scar. First thing you want to do is, just like Grimlock, remove the tail. And then you want to push the back legs up. Pull down the legs. Push the dino feet up like that. Split the arms. Rotate the waist. Untab the legs into their A stance. Push this piece down. Do that. I like to push this piece up so it doesn't hinder the waist swivel. Because if you have it down, then obviously, So if you have it like that, it can still turn all the way. like so. Now we give Scar his blaster, and bam, you have this lovely Dinobot medic figure. And I do enjoy this a lot more, actually. This one's nice. Which is probably why it's above Grimlock. Let's say out of all the Dinobot figures, besides these two, let's say Scar and Swoop are kind of in their own tier for the core Dinobots. Out of these four, though, this guy is the best. Mainly just for how he looks alone. I'll say the red is beautiful, the gold pops beautifully. All the silver on the back plates and spine of Scar's alt mode and Kylosaurus mode is lovely. I will not lie to you. It really is. The head is beautifully sculpted as well. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Look at all that little bits of detail. It's actually kind of refreshing to see a new Dinobot. We had Slash back in, I think, 2018, 2017. One of those 2 years. Slash was a good one. I really enjoyed her presence. It was nice. But Scar fits more with their ball joints. They get loose over time. Yeah. I like the idea of Scar more than I did Slash. One I would love to see is Scorn. If they ever make a G1 version of Scorn, I would love to buy that. Because to see a Scorn figure in this aesthetic, I would love, just seeing a Spinosaurus Dinobot to match our G1 Dinobots would be lovely. I can say the same for Scar as a leader class, and Paddles as a leader class. If we ever get Slash again, Deluxe class or Voyager class, she was intended to be much smaller. And I feel like she'd fit more as a Deluxe class now that I'm thinking about it. A Velociraptor Transformer, or a Velociraptor Dinobot, would definitely fit more as a Deluxe class to scale with these guys. Because most of them Grimlock was a Voyager, and the rest of the Dinobots were Deluxes. But if they didn't combine, they would have all been Voyagers. And that would have scaled well. So, Leader Class Dinobots, Deluxe, Slash, Leader Class, Paddles, Scorn, and Scar. That's a loadout of Dinobots I would gladly buy. And I could see Scorn, Paddles, and Scar, and Slash, I could see them all going in the Age of Primes line. And whatever continuation comes after, because that'd be really cool if we ever get that. We've gotten news a while back that the designers are considering Scar in a leader class scale, or they've at least mentioned the idea of it. So, Scar probably has the most potential to become the next leader Dinobot after now that the 86 Dinobots have concluded. Oh yeah, right, they want to continue the Sudi series, like the live-action Dinobots, too. Look, after whatever amount of Dinobots, I would love to see those 4 G1ified and scaled with the leader class Dinobots that we have. But with that said, let's go to Swoop. Swoop is, I believe, a pterodactyl or pterosaur, I believe. I don't know my dinosaurs that well. But, yeah. I feel like we got a Brontosaurus, I think, or Brachiosaurus. We have a Triceratops, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and a Kylosaurus. Stegosaurus? Oh, man, I don't care anymore. And then we got a pterodactyl, or pterosaur. I'm not sure. But, yeah. To start the transformation, we got to pull the legs back, push in the wings, pull the head down, flip up the robot head, push these back a bit, and just untab the arms and legs, and bam. For a core class, that is really simple, and I love it. It's nice to have a simple figure nowadays. Simple but fun is nice in this scale. I won't lie. And the core class is almost exactly designed for simple but fun figures. And this guy's really well articulated for a core class as well. Like, you could definitely get him to bust a few good moves. My favorite parts about this guy would, well, first of all, just because I want to, is the fact that he scales really well with the rest of them. He does look real nice, I won't lie there. The head is beautifully sculpted. We've got the red fin, the red base, the beautifully painted silver on his face, along with the sunken chin, or the sunken sides, then the beautiful blue eyes, then obviously, this entire head section here that folds into his chest does look lovely. The arms move out. This kind of is the perfect version of Swoop for just anything that's not a leader class. Say this is really good. I just realized something. With the 86 Transformers coming out, they're going to have to just do different versions of characters. Because with the upcoming Optimus Prime, that is probably the best one ever. And you can't improve upon perfection. Does that mean they'd have to go different interpretations or recontextualize how he looks? That'd be interesting, actually. What could a new Optimus Prime look like? They've been doing Legacy, redoing Primes, or remaking older versions. I just realized we haven't gotten a Prime Universe Prime. I just realized the Age of Primes line might be a perfect opportunity for that. Alright, never mind that, though. The red stripe on his leg is nice, I won't lie. That does look lovely. The silver on it, painted on his legs, as you can see, it's like this white, like beige-ish plastic. And then it's painted silver. It's the same plastic as the wings. Yeah, you can see much more of it on the back here. But I like the paint job, I won't lie. A lot of the gold on this end has rubbed off, and same here on this little nub. Bits of red on his head is chipped away too, which sucks, but happens. This guy's accessories would be these two missile pod-like pieces that you plug onto his wings, or you can have him hold them like guns. And with the fists, or like the halves of fists here, looking like cartridges or magazines for his blasters. I kind of imagine this as like some variant of a Tommy gun, kind of, or like a submachine gun or automatic, where it's just constant firing until you're out of ammo. Reload, back to constant firing, that type of stuff. That has always caught my attention because I think that'd look badass for Swoop. Swoop's one of those figures that I feel like could pull off just being a standalone release. I'm not gonna lie, Swoop strikes me as one of those bots that could just get their own standalone release as a figure and wouldn't need any of their Dinobots to support him. Let's say, or at least this version of Swoop is really good by himself. Who knows? I haven't gotten my hands on the 86 Swoop or Snarl, so I don't know what those guys are like. But until then, this Swoop is really good. And now finally, Snarl. As I've said before, Snarl is the best out of all of them. Because of his accessories, the shield and sword, his design overall is lovely, and the paint job on this guy is beautiful. So much paint on this guy, and he still has every bit of articulation that Swoop has, well, minus maybe the ball-jointed elbows, but I don't mind that being gone, I won't lie. So much more paint than any of these guys, but yet somehow he still has Swoop's articulation. Grimlock's, look at Grimlock. No elbows, but he has no paint. Barely any paint. And yet he doesn't have elbows. Then we have this guy, covered in the stuff. And he still has elbows. Look at this. Elbows, knee joints. I'll say he rocks. We got Grimlock and Slag and Sludge and Scar. Sludge and Slag have a bit of paint. At least more than these two. I can kind of forgive them. Barely. Just barely. But these two become the torso. They have that excuse. These two are limbs. If the torso is going to be good, the limbs have to be good. And the limbs on this guy suck. So, what compromised? Grimlock was the Dino mode and Robot mode for a shitty limb. Scar compromised the limb mode for a good Robot and Dino mode. Swoop compromised the limb mode for a good Robot and Dino mode. Scar compromised the limb mode for a good Dinobot and Robot mode. Slag and Sludge compromised both their Dino modes and Robot modes to be wonderful components for the body, for Volcanicus. Now, these guys all compromised their limb modes in one way or another to support one of their other modes. Everything on these two guys' limb modes, these three limb modes, suck, but the robot modes are great. This guy's robot mode is good, but has a horrible limb and dino mode. There's always going to be some sort of compromise with these guys, which sucks. But it's budget, which I hate. I kind of wish the budget would be made after they design the figures, because I feel like there's a lot more potential with these two. I can forgive them with these two. These two make a really good torso and waist. But these two dropped the ball hard for their limb modes. Then these two, I can kind of forgive. Wonderful robot and dinosaur modes. But their limb modes suck. This guy, same as these guys, this guy's only good mode was the robot mode. So yeah. I just repeated myself, didn't I? Damn. Well, we're going to go into the dino mode for this guy. We have all these little spines on the Spinosaurus, and they're lovely. I do enjoy it. It's a nice little detail here. We have the dino mode head with this beautiful painted blue like eye, along with the lovely Autobot logo. On the underside, we can see Snarl's face. The fists are clearly here, but I don't mind as much because it's not too compromised. It's nice. The sword with this tab plugs into the chest here. I'm going to leave that off to the sides for robot mode. What you want to do is untab the arms from these slots, from these tabs. Pull the arms out like that. Then split open the tail section. Pull down on the legs, split the legs, fold in the dino mode heads, then straighten the legs out. And if you want, you could pull off this back piece for a shield, which you can do, but I do advise against it. It doesn't look as good. So it looks better on his back. I do prefer it like that. So, yeah. And with that said, Snarl, the best out of these guys. I do truly prefer this over all of them, for a good reason too. He's just the best. Look at him. He has a waist swivel, head swivel, is painted beautifully. I'll say, it's gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is a beautiful Snarl. Look at him. Out of every Snarl ever, this is just beaten by the 86 figure. And just barely. Because of how similar these two are. They perfect almost everything in their robot mode and dino modes. Because their goal is to be as simple but as lovely as possible. And they have nailed that with Snarl and Swoop. I prefer Snarl because he's just a figure that I prefer more in design-wise. Swoop is a wonderful figure on his own, but I prefer Snarl. The reds are lovely. The black paint is nice. The silver on his legs just pop. The colors, like the gold, make this figure just that every bit more better. Then with the addition of a sword, and yeah, a bit of parts forming with the backpack, that does bother me a bit, but not enough to make me hate the figure. This is just good because of those, though. I will always pick this figure to fiddle around with first over any of these guys, because this is just a good figure. And with that being said, we're going to get into each figure's articulation now. Snarl has a full 360 head swivel. It is not on a ball joint. The only figures that have ball jointed heads would be Slag and Swoop. The only ball jointed headed figures. Snarl has a ball joint at the bicep, shoulder. This is the bicep. At the shoulder. So, can go full 360, back that far, forward that far, up that far, up that far, down that far, and a lovely elbow bend, like so. Give him the sword. He has a butterfly joint for transformation, but it does help a lot for articulation. So if you want to get that swinging motion, you can get that thanks to the joint. We have a proper waist swivel, like so. Legs can go back that far, forward that far, out that far. No thigh swivel. Knees can bend that far. And that's it. We'll go into Swoop now. Swoop has a ball joint at the head so that he can look up that far, down that far. Has slight tilts to the side. Full 360 ball joint, like so. Arms can go out that far. If you move the wing back, arms can go back that far. Full 360 rotation, as you can see. He has a bicep swivel because of the ball joint. Elbows bend that far. The wings are obviously on a hinge, so you can pose them however you wish. You can pull out the ends of the wings as well to give this design. If you move this piece up a bit more, you could get a full 360 rotation at the waist, but if you leave it down, then this is about as much as you get. Legs can go out that far, back that far, back that far, forward that far. We have a thigh swivel, and maximum knees. No ankle pivot, because none of these guys have that. Not even their combined mode. Scar has a full 360 at the head. Arms can go out that far, in that far thanks to a butterfly joint. They can go back that far. They're on a ball joint, so they can go full 360. No elbow bend. He does have a waist swivel, as mentioned earlier, so that's good. The legs can go back that far. Let's forward that far. If you move his arm up, they can go... Oh, if you move the dino leg downward like that, his legs can go out that far. Forward that far. Knee bend's really good, though. So it bends all the way like that. For transformation reasons, it bends like that, though. So, yeah. With that being said, we can now go into Grimlock. Gotta push those down, though. Grimlock has a full 360 at the head, like so. Arms can go out that far. If you move the backpack a bit, arms can go back that far. Forward that far. It's a full 360, like usual. Wrist swivel because of Dino Mode's transformation. He has a waist swivel, a proper one. Legs can go back that far. Forward that far. And a good knee bend. Like so. Don't die on me, Grimlock. Slag can look up that far. Down that far. Has a tilt side to side. Full 360 rotations. Arm can go up that far, down that far, out that far. And it's on a type of joint where it can go back that far, up, then back that far, down. No sort of arm movement besides what we have at the shoulder. He has a full 360 waist rotation. Legs can go back that far, forward that far, and out that far. I think if you push that in, it can go just a bit higher. Knees go all the way back, which is one of the few upsides about the core class Dinobots, is they have some really good knees. Then finally, Sludge. Never mind, you don't get a full 360. This section here stops the head. Yeah, see, it's not wanting to go any further. Okay. Head can only go that far on both sides. Arms can go out that far and are absolutely unhindered because of everything. So, full 360. Legs go back that far. Forward that far. He has an ab swivel. Knees bend back that far for transformation. And forward that far, because why not? Oh, man. Been doing this for almost an hour now. Shit. Sorry, guys. I've wasted like an hour of your guys' life. Sorry to tell you that. Okay, yeah. Keep falling over, you bunch of cunts. Alright, size comparison time. Sludge. Grimlock. And Slag. Then if we move Grimlock here, Goldbug. Damn, Goldbug's just as big as a core class. I'll be damned. Let's grab these guys out. Whew. Alrighty. This is where our grand finale finally kicks in, guys. Combined mode. We'll start with the legs, being Grimlock and Snarl. So we put these guys off to the side. Grimlock's transformation first involves the gun, but you want to tab the legs together. Oh. Sorry, foot was falling asleep. That sucks. Alright. These two tabs go into those two slots right there. And bam. Just like that. Tab together and ready. Then you want to bring Grimlock's arms forward and around to him, like so. Straighten out the head. Then bring these parts upward, like so. And collapse it. Then I think it's this one right here. You want to put that part up, and then you want to put this part down like that for the kneecap. You want to pull out this tab like so for combine mode, and then get that all together. Just like that, we have his mode. But if you're like me, then you've modified him. And I removed the little block that prevents you from tabbing these two together in this configuration. The downside is his knees are going to be consistently bent down just a tad, but it does make the Dino Mode's leg look a little bit better. Not by much, but a little bit. Snarl, you're going to want to take a sword, put it there for now. Yeah. Tab his legs together, then tab his arms together, like so. Then his arms, while tabbed together, are going to plug into his crotch with these two pieces here. Like so. Bam. Other arm, tabs in there. Bam. Make sure the head for this guy's straight. Then collapse the two parts together, or the tails together. These two slots here go into these two tabs here and here. Bam. Pull up the port for the knee, and then these two tabs here and here go into these two ports here and here. And bam. Just like that. And for the time being, we'll plug the sword into Snarl. Our next step involves Sludge. Sludge for combined mode doesn't do much. All you do is put his arms up, rotate his thigh around, then tab together these parts right here and here. Then connect them. The ports plug into these slots here in his legs. Like so. Oh, this is looking ugly and uglier by the moment. Then we just tab Slug's legs together, flip up the mouth plate to cover up his face, rotate his arms, or bring his arms out, then rotate them around, where this tab will go into the slot. But first you want to rotate the legs around, then tab them together. Make sure these bits are straight out like that. Flip around these legs a bit, pull out the Volcanicus head, and plug it into this port right here. Then take this piece that you get from Slag's gun. This tab right here will plug into Sludge's chest, like so. And bam. Gotta make sure that's nice and straight. Bring his arms out a bit. Then these tabs right here, here, and here will plug into these tabs here, here, and here. And bam. Just like that. There's a slot inside Slag that is designed for Sludge's head to go into. So that's how it facilitates that. And just like that, we have the lovely torso. Make to my thumb. Alright, now we grab Scar. Tap his legs together. Make sure the dino legs are down like this. Bring up the Kylo head. Remove the blaster. Bring the arms up and tab them together. Like so. Bring these legs down, I believe. And then this slot right here goes in these tabs right here. If your copy's like mine, it'll have a tendency to fall off. So, I'd advise caution. In this case, it's not. Today's my lucky day. We grab Swoop, pull down his head, pull this piece up, tab the legs together, rotate the waist, remove the blasters from his hand, tab the guns together, tab them into his arm, or his legs, and then have this port ready, and that's it. Plugs into the Sludge's hands, like so. And almost done. Grab the sword off of Snarl and put it in Swoop's combined hand. And now we're done. Let's adjust that light a bit. There we go. Not perfect, but it's a bit better. And now we have Volcanicus. Volcanicus is the size of your average Voyager. I don't have any Voyagers on me right now. They're all over there. Also, I have my lamp off. No need for it when I'm using this light right here. So yeah, we got Goldbug for size comparison. Goldbug just comes up to the hip, and I'm only going to grab one of these guys. Grimlock, or Volcanicus, is up to Grimlock's shoulder, with Goldbug being scaled like that. Grab Goldbug and put him off to the side. Grab Grimlock and put him off to the side. And now we get into this okay combined mode. There you go. This combined mode is okay for what it is. It's our very first core class combiner. Not the very first combiner at this scale. There's been many like it in the past, where there's combiners at this scale, but this is the most recent Legends-esque combiner. So yeah, for what it is, it's actually really good. The knee's nice. The arms move pretty well. Would have preferred the proportions to be more like this, though. Which the upcoming Dino King is doing, which I really do like that a lot. Where it's going to have the arms like this. It just also means, oh, yep, there it goes. Instead of dealing with that, I'm just going to do this. Come on, untab. Untab! There you go. Tab it like that. Does not look pretty at all, but I am not going through the pain of that again. So, yeah. But I always prefer them when they move like this, more than like a gorilla. Even though I love my monkeys, you know. It's kind of the whole namesake of the channel, Monkey155, but this does not make for a good toy. Do not give him gorilla arms. I don't want the king of Dinobots beating his chest like a goddamn monkey. That's not what this guy does. He fights. He crushes, demolishes anything in his path. Autobot, Decepticon, will destroy them. Because the Dinobots, if you ever watched the G1 cartoon, you know how the Dinobots kind of flop back and forth between, we help Autobots too, we betray them and become our own leaders and stuff, you know? They flip-flop like that occasionally. Like in animated, they're more like anti-heroes. You know, like they didn't actively choose to be a villain, but they weren't heroes either. That's kind of what they were in G1 now that I'm thinking about it. Huh. But yeah. Proportions are definitely a bit weird. We now know what these little tabs down here were for, though. Those feet for Dino King. So, yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah. I don't have much to say on this. Like, it's okay. You know? It's Volcanicus. What else am I to expect? It's okay. It does what it's supposed to, and I'm happy with that. But, stuff got stuck together. But I do feel like there could have definitely been more they could have done with this. And they did more with the Dino King, actually. I kind of wish the Dino King one was the first one to release. And the Volcanicus was like the exclusive set. I don't feel like it would have been as special, though, because, first of all, it definitely would not have sold as well as the Dinobots did. I'll say because who would sell better? a bunch of members of a dinosaur Decepticon team that not many people knew about until recently with the Dino King, or Volcanicus, a figure that we just recently got in Power of the Primes, and comprised of a lot of members that people are familiar with. You know, we got Grimlock, Snarl, Sludge, Slag, Swoop, and they were a bit ambitious with releasing Scar. Like, they did something new, but they also stuck to what they knew. Oh. Which kind of sucks at the same time, I won't lie. But yeah. Ah, man. I guess with that being said, we're going to get into articulation. That'll be it. End of today's video. So yeah. Head is on a port, like so. So, yeah. Full 360. Arms can move back that far, forward that far. Swoop's arm can go up that far and down that far because of the smaller size of his connector. Swoop's arms, because of the waist swivel, same with Scar, can go, has a bicep swivel. Volcanicus has a bicep swivel. Also has a double elbow bend inside it. Oh, there it goes. Well, it's probably better that I do this separately. And also has a double elbow joint because it's comprised of two characters. Or because it's comprised of bots. Scar has very similar articulation as well. Untap those. There we go. We'll just push those in over there for now. Not a double elbow bend, but still good. Then, with the hand built in, it can go that far. With it removed, it can go in that far as well. Put that off to the side. We have a waist swivel that doesn't go it goes that far, but Sludge's head being Sludge's head, you can just pop that out, and boom, full 360. Legs can go, oh wait, I gotta plug that back in actually, because we need this in there. Damn it, now I'm gonna have to untransform part of it. There we go. Plug that back in. Plug that back together. And bam, there you go. Legs. Oh, doesn't affect it at all. Okay. Legs can go back that far, forward that far, and out that far, which is not really far at all. Sludge also has a tank guard, which does that. It's more to add a bit more girth to the combined mode. Let's say would you rather have this more boxier shape down there, or would you rather have this really skinny, almost non-existent waist section? There's a knee swivel because of the combined mode. Also a thigh swivel, but that untabs the tail piece for the thigh. Knees bend that far on Grimlock. That's about it, actually. There's no ankle pivot. Snarl's knee swivel is hindered thanks to the spikes. Not as bad as Grimlock's, though. Well, actually, Grimlock's swivels really well, too. Damn, okay. Snarl's knee bend is it's exactly the same as Grimlock's, actually. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I had more fun trying to find them and collecting them than I did actually completing it. I won't lie to you guys. I had much more fun finding everything than completing it. The combined mode's okay for what it is, I won't lie, it's good. But that's really about it. It's just good. It's not great, it's not amazing, it's just good. Say, if any of you guys get Dino King, you do clearly have an option here where you can add those parts to this guy instead. And I'd suggest that if you like it Volcanicus more than Dino King. But, yeah. With that being said, that's today's video. A whole 1 hour. God. Until then, see you monkeys. Goodbye.